Welcome to video 2 of the BCN System walkthrough. In this video, we'll be going through the process of writing content for our web page. We'll also be making sure our images are the correct size. And finally, we'll also be editing our email templates. Firstly, we'll be going through the process of creating and editing new pages. On the left-hand side menu, go to Page Content, then Pages. Here you can see a list of your created pages. These are the pages that are mainly displayed on the header and footer of your website. For example, this is where you can edit the contact details page, which is displayed in the navigation bar of your website. Click the edit button or create a new one on the top right. Then once the page opens, to make the page show in the navigation bar, select Show in Top Links. And for the footer, select Show in Footer Links. Then underneath, you'll see the page details section. To make sure your website ranks well in search engines, you'll need to write good, unique content for your descriptions of all your products, categories, and pages. To change your products and categories, on the menu on the left, go to Products or Inventory, then either Add/Edit Products or Categories, where when you click on the item that needs to be edited, you'll see the description box. On all of these pages, you'll see a blue box with bullet points, which is giving tips on what to do when writing content. For products, it's above the description box, and then for categories and pages, it's either to the right of the description box or below it, depending on your screen size. Within the list of tips, at the top, it contains a link to our guide on how to rank well on Google. This goes into more detail, so it will help you if you read through the guide a few times before adding your descriptions. If you need any help with writing content, we have some content examples available that can help give you some ideas if you're struggling with what to write. You can find the examples by either clicking on the link underneath the Google guide, or on the left, go to Support, then Content Examples, where we have lots of examples available that can be used as guidance on what you should be writing. As stated at the top of the page, it's advised not to directly copy from this page, as it will hurt your ranking on Google due to the number of users that have access to the same content. Switching back to the descriptions, there's one final tool which we may want to use to help write your descriptions. For your products, packages and categories, you can generate your content automatically by using the AI content generator. While it isn't advised to just copy the text straight from the generator, it can be a useful tool to get you started. Something to note when using the generator, it doesn't immediately overwrite your descriptions. So there are multiple instances where you can revert back to the old description before finally pressing the save button. When using the tool, it's best to fill in each field in the generator, so that none of the default information will be used to generate the descriptions. First, fill in the description of the item, describing as best as possible the item in question. If you already have a description for the item, this is where you could just copy and paste that text so that the generator can use it to get the new descriptions. Next, there's the item name, which will already be set from the name of the item you're currently viewing. Onto the main service, which is where you should enter the types of services that you provide. The delivery areas field should contain the main areas that you deliver this item to. Then we have the keywords, which is where you should add any phrases or keywords that you want to appear within the description. These should be phrases that you think your customers will be searching for on search engines. An example of a search term might be Princess Bounce House Rentals in Jacksonville. And finally, there's the Include Emojis toggle, which just allows you to choose if you want emojis to be generated along with your descriptions. With all the fields having content, we can now begin to generate it by clicking the Generate Description button, where after a few moments, a new section will appear underneath the generator, showing the description that it's put together. From here, it's advised to read through the description. If you don't like the description that it's generated, you can just scroll up and click the Generate button again. When you have a usable description, click the Replace Existing Description button. It only copies the text to the description box underneath, so that you can make any edits to the text. With your new description added, click the Save button on the top right of the page to overwrite your existing description. If you're manually writing your content, it's advised to write your descriptions for humans rather than for search engines, so it's best to write in full sentences. After adding your content, you might need to divide your text with headings and subheadings. You can do that by highlighting the text, then using the drop down on the left just above the text box by selecting one of the options. Ideally, you should only have a single heading one on each page, as if there are more, it can confuse search engines, as it's unclear what the page is about. If you want to split up the page into different sections, it's better to use subheaders like heading 2 instead. When you're editing your descriptions, it's best not to copy each of your saved descriptions to each of your pages, as this will hurt your website's ranking potential. Within your new description, it's advised to include a link to your contact page as well as your phone number, so that customers can easily get in contact with you if you allow bookings over the phone. Another important thing to do for search engine optimization, or SEO, is to cross-link your pages, which means that on your home page, you might want to link to one of your categories. On your categories, you might want to link to a product, and so on and so forth. To link to another page, within the description, highlight the text that you want to be used as a link. Then in the top toolbar above the description, click the Add Link drop-down and find the page you want to link it to. Then, once you've done that, hit the Save button on the top right of the page. When you go to the page you were editing on the front end of your website, you'll see that the text that you selected to be a link has now changed colour, and when you click on it, it will take you to the page you linked to. Moving on from the descriptions, at the bottom of the page, you'll find the advanced options, which contains the meta title and meta description. If you don't understand what these do, you don't have to fill these boxes, as your website will automatically generate some content for you. The meta title is the title of the page, which will show up on a search engine. It's the coloured link for the website that you see on Google. And then the meta description is the small writing that shows underneath. Once again, you don't have to write these if you're not sure what to write, as the website will do it for you. Another thing that you can do to boost your SEO is to make landing pages for your delivery areas. These will be pages titled by the areas you deliver to. An example of one of these pages is you could have a page called Bounce House Rentals Jacksonville. Within that page, you then have some information about the area, maybe some venues that you've rented at previously, and about the services that you provide, making sure that you've got all your search terms in the content. That way, when someone searches Bounce House Rentals Jacksonville, they'll be shown the page that's got all the information related to what they searched for, and then from that page, they can begin to browse your website. One of the most important things to make sure your website looks good is checking that your images fit. For product images, we generally recommend that you use square images, and that they're ideally 1600 by 1600 pixels. Though if your images are close to being square, just double check how they look on the front end of your website before making your final decision on whether you want to take time and make them square or not. If you're not sure how to make your images into squares, on your admin page, we have a list of recommended image editing software and their prices. Go to the left side menu, scroll down to Support, then select Invites and Graphics, where you can see a list on the top of the page and be able to crop or resize the images yourself. While looking at Invites and Graphics, if you scroll down, you'll see hundreds of themes, invites, images, and seasonal images. All of these are free to be edited and used on your website. You can use one of the listed image editing programs to personalize these themes to your business. Next, we'll be editing our email templates. On the left menu, go to Page Content, then Email Templates, where you're able to change and add your emails that will be sent out of your system to your customers. 2 emails will be sent automatically once a customer has made a booking. The booking confirmation email that will be sent to customers alerting them that the booking was successful, and the second automatic email is the booking received email, which will be sent to you to make you aware that someone has made a booking on your website. If you click to edit one of your emails, you'll be informed of any placeholder content that's still in the email that needs to be replaced by a red warning on top of the page. These emails will be sent directly to your customers. To personalize your emails for each customer, you can use mail merge tags, which you can see the list of either to the right of the text box or underneath of your screen smaller. These tags can be added to the email so that customer details are automatically filled in. Just copy the curly brackets and everything inside of them, and then paste it onto your email template, or use the mail merge drop down on the top of the text box and find your desired tag. Then when the email is sent, it will be replaced with the customer's details related to the tag, such as if you use the name tag, then it will pull through the name of the customer on the booking. You can even create custom tags for if you have text that you use for each of your emails. which will save you time when going through each of your emails and adding them. On the top of the mail merge tags, enter the tag name and then the text you want it to be replaced with. Then finally, press the Add button. Above the email text box, you can change lots of details about the email, such as the default email name and subject. You're also able to change the queue status for each of the emails, which will change when the email will be sent. For example, if you'd like to ask the customer for a review after the event is over, you can set the email to be sent a few days after the event finishes, and within the email include a link to your Google review page by highlighting the text that will be the link. Then on the top, select Insert Link. Then paste the link in the box that says URL. There are two ways to send queued emails. You can either do it automatically, or you can do it manually. First, we'll be going over the automatic process. To assign queued emails to bookings automatically, go to Settings, Website, then go to the Higher tab, and scroll down to Send all queued emails automatically. Turning this option on makes it so that when a new booking is created, the queued emails will be sent when their queue status is met. That's all you need to do for the automatic process. To manually apply your queued emails to your bookings, you'll have to do it for every booking that you get. So go to Bookings, View by Date, find and select the booking that you want to queue the emails for. Then on the tabs across the top, select Customer Emails, where if you set a queue status for any of your emails, you'll see a button on the top right of the page to queue the emails, where when you press it, it will set all queued emails to send when their queue status is met. It's advised that you do this whenever you get the booking received email for each of your bookings. Now we'll move on to adding our testimonials to the website. If you have any testimonials or reviews from previous customers, you can add them to your website by going to Page Content and then Testimonials, where you can add, edit, or remove the testimonials that customers have left. To add a new review, on the top right of the page, add the name of the customer that left the review. Then after pressing Add, you can paste in the review that the customer left. And then on the right, you can include the date that it was made. Once you've done that, press the Save button on the top right of the page. That's it for this video. Before continuing to the next one, you'll need to write some content for each of your pages, categories, and products. You'll also need to make sure that your images fit within the boxes, that your email templates and queue times are correct, and that you've added your testimonials if you've already received some. You have all the necessary tools to complete these tasks, and you're the best person to complete the content, as you're the one who knows the most about selling your products. Put in as much effort as you can on the website, as you'll get out of the website the time you put into it.